Hello everyone, myself Nia Eddin, Assistant Professor, Bachelor of Business Management, St. Albert's College, Autonomous, Ernakulam. So today we're going to discuss about the topic called interview. Most of the people MIS have been already attended various types of interviews in the competitive world. So in this session, we're going to discuss about the managerial effort. So, an interview is essentially a structured conversation when one participant asks questions and other provide answers. In common parlance, the word interview refers to a one-to-one conversation between an interviewer and interviewee. The interviewer asks questions to which the interviewer responds, usually providing information. That information may be used or provided to other audiences immediately or later. This feature is called number 2 many types of interviews. A job interview or interview with witnesses to an event may have no other audience present at the time, but the answers will be later provided to others in the employment workingness together process. An interview may also transfer information in both characters. Interview usually take place face to face and person, but the parties may instantly separated geographically as immediate conferences offices interview. Interviews always involve spoken conversations between two or more parties. In some instances, a conversation can happen between two persons, entire the questions and answers. Interview can be structured, trivially, and open-ended conversation without predetermined plan or pre-arranged questions. One form of unstructured interview or focus interview in which the interviewer consciously and consistently guides the conversation so that the interview's responses do not stray from the main research topic or ideas. So we're gonna discuss about the various types of interview. And the first one is structured interview. It is a traditional form of an interview. These standards questions are asked from the interviewee and the same for all the candidates. It is a kind of interview that gives and enhance examine all the candidates' skills every day impartially. These questions also had an interviewer to compare their responses and choose the best. So the next one is unstructured interview. It is a just opposite to the structured interviews. It is a free-flowing conversation. The type of interviews is also known as informal interview. Here, the interviewer already has a definite idea in mind about the questions to be asked. Generally, questions are made and asked during the interview. These questions can be changed according to the change and the responses the candidate give. An unstructured interview does not follow any formal rules and procedures. Next one is stress interview. These kinds of interviews are merely rare. In this interview, puts the interviewer into under a stressful situation to test their presence of mind to see how they manage the crisis at the given time. The interviewer tends to make the interviewee nervous asking unfunded questions at the same time. It is done to see whether the candidate can cope up with the crisis and not panic. So the next one is one-to-one interview. It is a general interview. There are just two persons, that is the interviewer and the interviewee. The formal discussion takes place face to face about the candidate's skills and abilities. The interviewer asks general and technical questions to check the suitabilities. Next one is panel interview. A panel interview is known as the board interview. The interview takes place between one candidate and a panel of members of the company, usually more than two. Each one will different scores to the candidate and combines them to see if the candidate is qualified. In a panel interview, candidates are often victims of personal biases, and it is not feasible for organization that many interviews daily. Telephonic interviews the next one. Telephonic interviews are conducted over a phone under an economical and less time consuming. Through these interviews, the companies can select promising individuals for the job. Its main objective is to limit the list of candidates and appoint the best ones. These are more accurate than one-to-one interview for judging interviewees' intelligence and interpersonal skills. The candidates are usually surprised by the unexpected call from the recruiter. However, they have a drawback. Just as the candidate will be surprised, they likely can be panicked and answers has to be in a restricted time. Next one is video interview. One of the newest form of interviews conducted through various media conferences, online chats, messaging due to their ability and instances. It takes time, money. The best part of interview is that more the interviewer and interviewee need not be in the same place, not even the same continent. It's just like a personal interview where the recruiter informs you about the interview a few hours later before the scheduled time. It is done. The interview lose far away cannot make it the interview's place for valid reasons. Next is depth interview. As a term it says, it distinguishes the interview in depth. These details and discovery the intent. It covers the candidate's life history, academic qualifications, interests, hobbies, and professional work experience. The interviewee hear the listener and most know in the detail about the candidates, allowing more time and the free flow of conversation and making a freely approach. Next one is open call interview. It is most commonly known as walk-in interviews, conducted on the spot. And the questions are not preset. The questions vary according to the response of the candidate. Most of these types of interview are for seasonal or temporary jobs process. And now we're gonna discuss about the various steps of the interview process. Interview process can be very depending on the company's practices and protocol. Most interviews generally follow the same format, consisting of the following step. And the first one is screening. Many employees conduct a preliminary interview to determine whether you are a viable candidate for the job. The screening can be conducted over the phone or in person or in typical last 15 minutes. This conversation to accurate the list of candidates to be called for official interviews. So after that it moves to first interview. Typically the first interview is a first face-to-face meeting with the potential employee. The goal is to get know you and assess your skills and experience in the relation to the need for this particular role. They are also looking to get know you to determine if you will find the fit you with the company's culture. The following stages typically makes the first interview. It includes introduction, interview questions, your questions, and concluding the interview. So the first 4 minutes consist of meeting the interviewer and then settle into the interview space. This is also the first impression of the space. So it is important to make it a positive by using good posture, eye contact and firm handshake. The interviewer generally takes up first several minutes of the interview to tell about their organization. And it moves to interview questions. The main part of interview consists of employer asking new questions and listening to your responses, sometimes taking notes for later references. Most of the time this part lasts around 20 minutes. And your questions. When the interviewer invites you to ask questions, you have the opportunity to demonstrate your knowledge, expertise, and extent of research you have done on this company. To prepare with 3 to 5 total questions, and you go based on the what you learned in the interview. And concluding the interview means as the interviewer likely work to the it out. It is a good idea to all your questions before you write from your seat. As you live, restate your interest in the position with enthusiasm and make sure thank the sincerely for meeting, offer a firm handshake and maintain eye contact. And the third step is second interview. If you are succeed in impressing them in the first interview, you may be asked to return for a second meeting. This meeting typically allows you to meet different department heads and sometimes tour the facility. The interviewer will ask deeper, more specific questions to all the uncertain topics from the first interview and attain to a better idea of how you would acclimate to the work environment. And next is third interview. Some employers prefer to conduct a third interview to help them make a final decision. For this decision, you should have gained some in depth knowledge about the company and how it runs day to day, and maybe have an idea of how you would fit into the existing workplace culture. You may have opportunity potential co-workers during this time. And the last one is the decision. The final step in the interview process is that if the company wants to hire you, is usually a job offer contingent upon your background check and references. The offer will usually come in the form of tiled letter. In some cases, you will receive a offer letter in an email. Most employees work for a verbal employee before presenting a hard copy to make sure you are happy with the terms or allow you to chance the negotiate before signing on. So these are some of the various steps of the interview process. So I hope that all of you enjoyed the session and aware about the various steps and the interview process. Thank you for listening.